Most people completely misunderstand what it really takes to start a business in a country like Bolivia. And the truth is, one small mistake at the beginning can quietly turn into months of delays, legal confusion, and unnecessary expenses. If you're planning to register an LLC in Bolivia, there's something extremely important you need to know first. This is not a fast plug-and-play system like many online guides make it seem. In fact, Bolivia has one of the more traditional, documentation-heavy business environments in Latin America. And this is exactly where most people get caught off guard. Let me show you how this actually plays out. Imagine Daniel. He's an entrepreneur from the US who sees an opportunity in Bolivia's growing agricultural export market. He wants to set up a company to source products locally and sell internationally. He does some quick research online and thinks, okay, register an LLC, open a bank account, and I'm ready to go. Sounds simple enough. But within a few weeks, Daniel finds himself overwhelmed. He's dealing with notarized documents, translation requirements, local legal formalities, and multiple government offices, all moving at their own pace. And this is where things get interesting. What Daniel didn't realize is that registering an LLC in Bolivia isn't just about forming a company. It's about navigating a system that relies heavily on formal procedures, in-person processes, and strict compliance. So in this guide, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to register an LLC in Bolivia, step by step. But more importantly, I'll show you how to do it in a way that actually works, without unnecessary delays or costly mistakes. Let's start with the foundation. First, what exactly is an LLC in Bolivia? In Bolivia, the most common equivalent to an LLC is called a Sociedad de Responsabilidad Limitada, or SRL. And this is where the first misunderstanding happens. Because while it's similar to an LLC in other countries, the structure and requirements are different in important ways. And this small detail makes a huge difference. Let's go back to Daniel. He assumed the process would be digital and straightforward, like registering a company in the US or some offshore jurisdictions. But what happens next changes everything. He learns that Bolivia's system involves legal documentation, notarization, and registration through specific institutions. So the first step in registering an LLC in Bolivia is not filing an online form. It's defining your business structure correctly. An SRL in Bolivia typically requires at least 2 partners and allows up to 25.01. This is important because unlike some countries where a single member LLC is allowed, Bolivia traditionally expects multiple partners. Now imagine Sarah. She wants to start a small import-export business in Bolivia, but she's planning to do it alone. This is where things can go very wrong. Because if she doesn't structure her company properly, she could face complications during registration. But here's the insight. You may need to include a second partner, even if it's a minority stakeholder. And this small detail can determine whether your application moves forward smoothly. Now, once you understand the structure, the next step is choosing your company name. This might seem simple, but in Bolivia, it's more structured than many people expect. Your company name must be unique and registered through the official system. Michael submitted a name he liked. Rejected. Then another. Also rejected. Not because they were bad names, but because they didn't meet the uniqueness requirements. But here's the smarter approach. Always check name availability in advance, and prepare multiple alternatives. Because without an approved name, the entire process stops. Now once your name is approved, things start to get more serious. You need to draft your company's constitutive document. This is essentially your company's founding agreement. And this is where things can get complicated. Because this document must include detailed information about your business, your partners, your capital contributions, and how the company will be managed. David tried to handle this himself. He used a basic template, filled in some details, and thought he was ready. But this is where it gets dangerous. His document didn't meet legal requirements. And what happens next changes everything. He had to start over. So the key insight here is simple. This is not a step you want to rush. Working with a local legal professional can save you time and prevent costly mistakes. Now let's move to the next stage. Notarization. 2. In Bolivia, your company documents must be notarized by a public notary. And this is not optional. Jessica didn't expect this. She thought digital submission would be enough. But her application couldn't proceed without proper notarization. And this is where many foreign entrepreneurs get stuck. Because notarization often requires physical presence or a legal representative. But here's the smarter way to handle this. You can appoint a local representative through a power of attorney. And this small detail can make the process much more manageable. Now, once your documents are notarized, you move to the registration stage. This involves submitting your company to the Registry of Commerce, managed by Fundempresa. And this is where your company becomes officially recognized. But here's the problem. This process can take time. Unlike instant online registrations in some countries, Bolivia's system requires review and approval. Emily reached this stage thinking she was almost done. But then she encountered delays due to missing documentation. And this is where things can go very wrong. Because even a small missing detail can slow everything down. So the key takeaway here is preparation. Double-check your documents before submission. Because accuracy at this stage saves time later. Now let's talk about something that surprises many people. Tax registration. Once your company is registered, you must obtain a tax identification number, known as NIT. And this is where your business becomes operational in the eyes of the government. But here's where it gets interesting. Tax registration involves additional documentation, and sometimes in-person verification. Daniel thought he could skip this step temporarily. But what happens next changes everything. He couldn't issue invoices or legally operate his business. So the key insight is simple. Registration alone is not enough. You must complete the tax process to fully activate your company. Now, let's move to another important step. Opening a corporate bank account. This is where many entrepreneurs face unexpected challenges. Banks in Bolivia require detailed documentation, including your registration documents, tax number, and proof of business activity. Michael struggled here. He had everything registered, but still faced delays in opening an account. And without a bank account, running a business becomes difficult. But here's the smarter way to handle this. Prepare your documentation in advance, and work with banks that are familiar with foreign entrepreneurs. And this small detail can make a big difference. Now let's talk about compliance. Because this is where long-term success is determined. In Bolivia, companies must maintain proper accounting records, file tax returns, and comply with labor laws if they hire employees. David ignored this part. He thought once the company was registered, he was done. But a few months later, he faced penalties for missing filings. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because compliance is ongoing, not a one-time task. Now let's step back for a moment. If you followed everything so far, you might notice something important. Registering an LLC in Bolivia is not about speed. It's about precision. Every step requires attention to detail. But here's the empowering part. Once you understand the system, it becomes manageable. You're no longer guessing. You're navigating with clarity. Let's walk through the journey again, but this time with confidence. You start by understanding the SRL structure. You ensure you have the correct number of partners. You choose and reserve your company name. You draft your constitutive documents carefully. You notarize your documents. You register your company with the authorities. You obtain your tax identification number. You open a corporate bank account. And you maintain compliance over time. Simple when you understand it. But here's one last thing most people don't think about. Time. In Bolivia, processes can take longer than expected. And this is not necessarily a problem, unless you're unprepared. Because delays become frustrating when you don't anticipate them. But when you plan for them, they become manageable. Zara completed her setup successfully because she understood the system. Daniel faced delays because he underestimated the process. And this is the difference knowledge makes. Now, if you're thinking about registering an LLC in Bolivia, here's the most important takeaway. Don't rush. Take the time to understand each step. Because every detail matters. And when you approach this strategically, Bolivia can offer real opportunities, especially in emerging markets. But when you treat it like a shortcut, that's when problems begin. So now you know what most people don't. You understand the process, the challenges, and the strategy behind it. And that puts you ahead of the majority of people exploring this path. If you found this guide helpful, and want more videos that break down complex global opportunities like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand how these systems work, the more confident and capable your decisions become.